Hello. So, with everything going on in the world, a lot of people have had a lot of questions about Nexters, and they did release a statement. So I'll release that. So I'll post that here. I'll read it, and we'll talk about it. All right. So this is what it says. It says, "Friends, the events of the last few days are very worrying for all of us. We believe that violence is unacceptable in any form, and our hearts go out to all who are affected by it. It is especially heartbreaking to witness the tragedy that unfolds right now since we and other developers across the world create games and strive to bring people together with them, not pull them apart. The gaming industry is a tight knit community that has given little thought to borders. For example, at Nexers, we have employees from more than 10 different countries, including Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, and our head office is located in Cyprus. The Nexers board of directors is composed of citizens of different nations. Our stock is traded on an American stock exchange, and our shareholders are people from all around the world. At the moment, we are already providing help to our employees who need it. A special working group has been created within Nexters that is in constant contact with our people in Ukraine. We will monitor the situation closely and continue to support our employees with everything they need as fast as possible. The Nexters team." All right, so this statement, it's okay. It does take that, they do talk about how they care about the violence, but they don't name like what's actually going on. So I kind of feel like the statement's weak. They say they are located in Cyprus. This is true. We can go look at their financials. So if you go to, like I said, we got their financials here. Like that's on there, you can see that their CEO, their board of directors, like so. Most of these are Russians. I think some. I think most. I said. I think all these might be Russians. Like, but some of them were born in Russia, but they became citizens of other countries. But most of these people are Russians. This guy right here, who founded Nexters, he is Russian. Nexters was founded in Russia in 2010, and was a Russian company until 2017, where they changed their headquarters to Cyprus. So they do have some ties to Russia financially, like you see this mutual fund, DWS Russia. This is a Russian mutual fund. But if you go look at some of their other stockholders, like their institutional holders, like a lot of these are Wall Street investment funds. Like this is a New York-based one, the largest stockholder. So a lot of these are American companies that own it. It's only down 20% year to date, their stock. So the stock market's kind of dropped a lot, like in this year. So if there was significant risk, I would think you'd see a lot more drop. I mean, yes, there's some change in the last month, but again, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's probably some risk. There's definitely some ties. But like I said, they moved their company to Cyprus, I'm sure, because of the political situation in Russia. Like I said, Russia since 2014 has been under lots of sanctions, which has made investment into Russia kind of dicey. A lot of companies have definitely left Russia. They've relocated a place like Cyprus. But they definitely have, like I said, so there's definitely reasons. Like, so some people are worried about what will happen, like, say, with all the sanctions going on. Like, they're talking about SWIFT banking sanctions for Russia. The central bank of Russia is going to get sanctioned. Like, so capital is pretty much in and out of Russia is going to pretty much come to a halt. Like, there will be like no foreign investment in Russia. No Russians could invest outside of Russia. Like that's going to happen. Like, that's going to be really tough. So having any ties to Russia could very well be seen as scrutiny. There's also the moral question. Some people don't want to support Nexters, or they don't want to play this game anymore, or whatever, because they're worried this company has too deep of ties to Russia, and if they're spending money in this game, they're supporting Russia, etc. I mean, and I get that, but I don't think this company has a lot of ties to Russia. I mean, honestly, if you drive a car, you buy gasoline for the car, you're probably doing more to help the Russia military than you are playing a Facebook game or a browser game, or like I said, I'm just gonna keep it real. I don't think anything you do in this game helps Russia that much. I mean, yes, they have some Russian employees who probably pay Russian taxes. Russian users who play the game buy stuff, they probably pay taxes on sales. But like I said, I don't see this. I don't see you as, like I said, if you're playing this game, you're not really supporting Russia's aggression. We should clarify, it's not Russia that's doing a war in Ukraine. It's Vladimir Putin. the Russian people, they don't want war with Ukraine. They're protesting the streets. There is protests in the streets of Russia. Like I said, like I said, this war is done by one man and one man only. It's not the Russian people that want war. It's just Vladimir Putin. Like, so we shouldn't go blame Russians. We shouldn't. Like I said, most Russian people are good. I've known a lot of Russian people. Most are really good people. They aren't responsible for what the actions of their leaders, especially in a country like Russia, which is not really a democracy. Like, Russian, like I said, Vladimir Putin, like, his title might be president, but he's not, like I said, he's not democratically elected. They don't have democratic elections in Russia. Like I said, he's Russian dictator Vladimir Putin. That's the reality. But like, if you look at this though, like, there's protests in Moscow. Like, you see this, like, this is protests in Moscow. Like, this is in Moscow, like, a couple days ago. Like I said, you see that? Like, they don't want war. This is the Russian people. They don't want war. That's Moscow. Like, like I said, people don't protest that often in Russia because there's actually laws against protesting in Russia. But you see, there's these very large demonstrations of people coming out in cities all across Russia. Moscow, St. Petersburg, Novosibirsk. It's like I said, every major city in Russia has had protests the last several days, calling for an end to the war in Ukraine. Like, nope, this is not popular. This is not a popular war. In Russia, like I said, Vladimir Putin is, like I said, he doesn't care about Russian people. It's pretty obvious. And like I said, everyone condemns his aggression. Russian people, we, like I said, in the streets, we support you. We agree with you. Like I said, what's to happen in Ukraine is wrong. Russia shouldn't be dropping bombs on Kyiv. Right? It shouldn't be happening. It's very shameful. And the news is reporting that there's been at least 198 Ukrainians killed so far, and that there's another over 1,000 more people injured. Right, and these are just the ones you've confirmed. Like, the numbers are probably far higher because of, like, just how much bombing and stuff that's going on. These are just the ones that are confirmed. The death toll is almost certainly rise. These are civilian deaths. And this doesn't, like I said, count the, military deaths. Like, Ukrainians have lost hundreds of soldiers. The Russians, because they're attacking, they're losing a lot more. It's been reported that the Russians have lost over 4,000 soldiers, which is horrific loss of life. It's, like I said, this is not an easy war. Like, Ukraine's a country of like 45 million people, and attacking Ukraine, like, it's just from a strategic point of view, like, it's not even a smart war. Like even, like, if Russia could win, I'm not sure, like I said, to achieve Russia's objectives, which is regime change in Ukraine, they would have to commit a lot of resources, a lot of soldiers, and they said it'd probably take years to conquer Ukraine. I mean, and probably at the rate, like, if 4,000 soldiers are already dead, Russia would probably lose 200,000 to 300,000 soldiers trying to conquer Ukraine, which is a catastrophic loss of life. With the Russian people already protesting, I don't see that being possible. And right, and then if you look at the refugee numbers, we got 300, according to UN, 368,000 people have already left Ukraine, and they're not, like I said, they're not fleeing to Russia. No, Russia's the one attacking them. They're going to Romania. They're going to Moldova. They're going to Poland. This is catastrophic. That is a lot of people. This number is going to rise. It's like, this is just such a horrific. It's horrific. I mean, I don't know, like, why Putin decided this was smart, because this is, like I said, it's catastrophic loss of life. And all we could do is hope that this comes to an end, because this is just going to get worse. More people are going to get displaced. More people are going to die. And we just have to hope that, right, either, like I said, if Russian people keep protesting, maybe you'll start seeing some cracks in the regime. Maybe Putin will finally come to his senses and realize that a war in Ukraine is not something anybody wants. Nobody wants this war. And it's just, like I said, he needs to end it, and end it soon. Like, and we can hope that it happens. And what's happening in Ukraine is very awful. This should not be happening. Like what I said, and the Russian people aren't, like I said, they're not to blame for what their dictator's doing. Like, right, this will probably be like I said, this will probably be the beginning of the end for Vladimir Putin, his regime. Like, I mean, he's been in power for, I think, 23 years, since 1999, so about 23 years. Like I said, his reign's going to come to an end because Russian people are going to face the brunt of the sanctions, heavy sanctions on Russia. Right, Russian people are going to be poor. Thanks, Spoon. Like, Russian soldiers dying. So, like I said, over 4,000 Russian soldiers dead. Right, like, there'll probably be more to come. Like, it's just, like, this is just awful. Like, it's the human cost, right, and, like, it's just, it shouldn't have to be this way, and it's, all one man's ego, and it's very sad, and I just hope that, Vladimir Putin isn't in power much longer, because the Russian people deserve better. I hope that whoever comes after him is much better. I hope that Russia could be a democracy. Like, if Russia was a modern democracy, they'd probably be one of the greatest countries in the world. Like I said, they deserve that. Russian people deserve that, and I hope the war in Ukraine comes to an end soon. I hope, like I said, Russia, if, like I said, they're gonna have to withdraw. Like, cause Ukraine. There's no way they're gonna capture Kiev. Like, there's not. The Ukrainians are mounting too strong resistance. They're not. There's the Ukraine. Like I said, it's a country of 45 million people. I mean, it's not possible unless, like I said, without losing literally hundreds of thousands of Russian soldiers, which is, said, you see the people are already protesting the streets. There's no way, that will happen. I mean, it's just, Russia will have to end its war sooner than that. And, the only thing we can do is hope it does come to an end soon, that Russia comes to his senses, that Vladimir Putin comes to his senses, pulls out, because if he doesn't, lots of people are going to die, and it shouldn't happen. Anyway, like I said, it's just something that needs to be said. I support the people of Ukraine. I said, condemn Russia, like Vladimir Putin's aggressive war. Not Russia, Russian people. I support you, the ones, especially the ones, who are protesting streets. You guys are heroes. You're risking a lot. I support you guys too. Thank you very much, and let's hope for peace. Thanks again.